Garrett, Vincent, you're going. I love you.
Oh.
I love you so much. I do.
Oh, you do.
Welcome back. On the line now is former Bachelorette and one of my favorites, Becca Kufrin. How are you, Becca?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I love reliving that moment. So you're actually going to be hosting Bachelor Live on stage with Ben Higgins. Tell me about it.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. So we actually started rehearsals a couple weeks ago, and this is something that Ben and I are both so excited and passionate about because it's finally a way to get all of the fans who have been invested in The Bachelor and Bachelorette and even Paradise actually feel like they're part of the show. And so it's going to be a crazy tour. We're going to 66 cities all across the country, living on a couple tour buses, but it'll be fun. It'll be hopefully dramatic, and hopefully we'll find some love in the cities.
That's very important. Living on a tour bus is kind of rough, Becca. So, it's no fantasy suite, let me just tell you.
I've never done it, so any pointers that anyone has, please send my way because I'm a little nervous about that part.
Do you get your own tour bus or do you have to sleep on the same tour bus as Ben? Because I feel like boys are a little bit messier than girls.
No, so Ben and I both have our own, which will be nice. I think if we shared one, it would be a little too close for comfort. As much as I like Ben, we luckily have our own space. Garrett will be joining me for some of it, and I know Ben's girlfriend will be joining him. So we're going to need our alone time.
Yeah, of course. You need a little separation. Will any other Bachelor Nation people make a cameo on the tour?
I think so. We are going to be hitting so many different cities, so many of the Bachelor alums' hometowns. So just depending on the night and the city, you may see some familiar faces.
Ooh, I am hoping for it. Let's talk about you and your love, Garrett, actually. So since you've moved in together, is there anything that you've learned about him that you didn't previously know?
Well, so many things. I mean, he's the first guy I've ever lived with, so it's just quite an adjustment. One thing, and this is the one thing that I always talk about besides the snoring, is for whatever reason, Garrett and his entire family loves to crumple paper towels up. Anytime they use a paper towel, they crumple it up and they just leave it around the house anywhere.
Oh no.
So I know, it's so weird. So I always know where they've been based upon the paper towel trail. And I always joke about it with him, but it's not changing them. He's not throwing them away. So I think it's just a Uruguayan trait.
Is he a decent roommate, though? Outside of the paper towels, does he clean up after himself? Does he put the toilet seat down? These are the things that I need to know.
Yes. So luckily we have two different bathrooms. So I have my own. He has his own, so he can do what he wants in there. But he's so clean. I really lucked out with him because he's clean, he's organized, he helps me pick up around the house besides the paper towels. He helps cook. He does it all. So it's very, I feel like I got the best roommate with him.
I love that. I've always said the key to a successful relationship is 2 bathrooms. 1 bedroom,
Yes.
2 bathrooms is a must.
My old boss warned me. She's like, if you're going to move in with anyone, you need to make sure you have a double bathroom. And I'm like, okay. So when we were looking, that was the number one thing on my list was 2 bathrooms, 1 for each of us.
It's key. It's key. Now that you two have been out of the spotlight, how has your relationship changed, if at all?
Oh, man. We've been loving it. Life has still been crazy. We've still been traveling quite a bit. But we did add a new little fur baby to our family a couple months ago. So she's actually sleeping right next to me. Let me grab her.
Yeah,
I'll show
come
you.
on. I want to see her. This is
Minnow. Oh, she's so mad that I just woke her up. But this is our little fur baby. I was trying to convince Garrett to let us get a dog for a couple months. So we finally got her back in August, and she's just been the best.
Now, why didn't you name your dog Chris Harrison? It feels fitting.
As much as I love Chris Harrison, I don't think he would have appreciated that. To find a happy medium between the two. We could not agree on a name for her. So I was like, well, I'm from Minnesota. Garrett was from Reno. So why don't we just combine the two? So we got Minnow.
That is truly adorable. Now, I have to know, dogs are happening, you're moving in. Have you started wedding planning yet?
No, no wedding plans. That's the number one question we get from everyone. but no, we're just taking our time. It took us so long to figure out first where we wanted to live, then to get a dog. So we're just dragging our feet. We luckily aren't feeling any pressure, and our family's been great about just supporting us and going along on this new journey of our life. So, yeah, I think when we finally start making plans, we'll tell our family first, and then I'm sure share it with the world.
That's awesome. Do you have any idea of the vibe or style you might want? Like, have you given it any thought, or you're just kind of putting it off until you can really focus on it?
A couple of things I know that I really want is I want it to just be, whenever the date happens, I want it to be just a fun, big party. So I don't want it to be super traditional. I think when we do it, we're just going to have a ton of food trucks, just a ton of games that people can play, more of like a party mingling as opposed to like a proper sit down plated meal where it's more, formal. So we just want the vibe to be very fun, laid back. I do love vineyards, so maybe it would be on a vineyard outside somewhere. But again, Garrett loves the mountains, so we're going to have to come to a happy medium there.
Well, I want my invite. I will expect it not to get lost in the mail. I love a vineyard too, so I'm just saying.
We'll go wine tasting beforehand.
Yes, absolutely. I want to shift gears a little bit because you've been open about how harsh social media can be. And earlier this month, you posted this makeup-free selfie to Instagram with your fur baby in support of the hashtag #AsSheIs campaign. You opened up about your struggles with living life in the public eye. Can you tell us a little bit about this campaign and why it's so important to you? It's really great stuff.
Yeah, so I was working with the girls there, and don't quote me on this. I know that they've been doing it for, I want to say, a couple of years now, and they reached out, and they were just looking for some more support. And women's empowerment and building girls up is something that I've always stood for. That's been very important to me in my life. And so when they asked for support in this, I'm like, heck yes, sign me up. I'll do this. So basically what it was is anyone could share a makeup-free selfie, whatever that may be. And then just kind of talking about their struggles with social media and how it's changed their life, whether it's being judged for how they look, how they do their hair, what they wear, whatever it might be. And so that was just an easy way for me to kind of share my side of things. And just, my life's completely changed since the show. And it's something that I really could never imagine, like the notoriety and constant feedback that I'm getting now through social media. And so it was just a way for me to share my side and to share with the world and other girls out there, like, you're not alone. You're going to struggle. You're going to have hard days. And unfortunately, social media makes us feel like we have to live up to these certain standards and always look perfect and always be smiling and share like the perfect aspects of our lives. And that's not reality. That's not the case. And so it was a way for me to share my side, and then to also, what was great was hearing back from other females as well about how they feel, how they struggle, how they can resonate with my message. So that was really special. It
is a really special campaign, and I'm really proud of you. What advice do you have for newly minted reality stars regarding fame and social media? Are you saying don't read comments ever, or how do you handle that?
I would honestly say, well, here's the thing. It's like, you can't not read the comments, because as much scrutiny as people will undergo, leaving a TV show, there's so much love and support as well. So you can't really cut out what you're getting on both sides. It's just to take everything with a grain of salt. And that's one thing that one of the producers had told me leaving the show before it had aired was, you're going to get a lot of love and a lot of hate, but just take it with a grain of salt. You can't read it and focus on only one side, because that's not realistic. And so at least for me, it's been really great having my mom and my sister and Garrett and my friends who still love and support me no matter what and know who I am. And my mom has been really great about teaching me to always be strong no matter what. You're always going to have haters. You're always going to have people say what they want to say. And sometimes it's just terrible messages, and you just have to move on with your day and realize that you can't let that affect you, because those people don't truly know who I am.
I always say you have to respect someone to sort of respect their opinion. And so as long as you respect yourself, that's the only opinion that should ever matter. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I love that. That's good.
Thank you. Steal it. Give me credit, though. I want the credit.
No, I will.
I'm curious, did you actually watch Hannah B's season of The Bachelorette?
I did, yes. So Garrett and I were traveling quite a bit during her season, but we did try to catch up when we were home. It's kind of fun to stay home Monday nights and pour a glass of wine and make a meal and watch the show. So yeah, we tried to keep up as best as possible.
I gotta ask you, was it hard to watch her season end in heartbreak the way it did? And did it bring back any feelings from how the Bachelor experience ended for you?
Well, that's a tough one because the way her season ended was completely different from mine. And of course, I can relate to any time somebody goes through a heartbreak and a breakup because that's not fun for anyone involved. And I did talk to Hannah a little bit throughout her season when it was still airing. And so I knew a little bit of what went down and what was going on. But the thing with Hannah that I think is so special and that what viewers really got to see as her season progressed is how strong she is. I mean, she's a tough woman. She's a badass. And to watch her not only go through that and know that she was hurting, but to still move past that and to still, try to stay positive and move forward and take it as a learning experience, I think was good for me to see and for girls out there to see. And of course, I do want her to find love. I think everyone deserves that. But I think it's really good right now what she's doing, focusing on herself, focusing on Dancing with the Stars, and just being a go-getter and getting herself aligned before moving back into a, hopefully future relationship.
I agree. I feel like she has no problem finding men in her life, and I'm glad she's focusing on herself because more will definitely come from that. Becca, thank you so much for chatting with us today. You're honestly like such a good role model for a lot of women out there, and I'm really excited for the tour. The Bachelor Live on Stage begins their tour in February 2020. Check out bachelorliveonstage.com for tickets and to see when they're coming to your town. Thanks so much, Becca.
Thank you.